hot dog. It's another episode of your favorite freaking radio program.
The Island Shuffle.
Yes!
Yeah.
My name's just Bean.
My name's just James.
And together, we are here every week for little old you to watch the beloved television
The one
show.
that you like.
The one you like.
Lost.
It's called Lost, and you like it. And we like it too, usually.
I'm lukewarm on the show. Officially.
Understandable, very reasonable take.
I think Lost is a 6 out of 10 show.
It really is a 6 out of 10 show. It really, really is just like perfectly fine. Some real moments of like, damn, that was great actually.
There were some good times.
And then just like some real wastes of footage.
Real stinkers, yeah. And this time we get a little bit more of the latter. We're in season 6, episode 6. It's called Why Don't We Just End the Show Already?
It's called Sundown because they are bringing the sundown on my opinion on the show. Get it?
Yeah.
Got him.
I did. Yeah.
I got him.
Oh my
good.
God. It was a roast.
Welcome
to the roast.
to the official Friars roast. We're all going to take turns and get up on the stadium and say, "Hey, this Lost show, I've tasted better plot off of the bottom of my car's tires."
Oh my God.
And everybody's gonna go. How could they say this?
Here's a question. What's the bottom of a tire?
Dirt.
But what is the bottom part of the tire? Is it the part that's touching the ground?
Yes.
But then if you rotate it a little bit, does that become the top?
Yes, it's whatever is currently connected to the earth at the time.
Okay. How did they taste from the bottom of the tire if it was connected to the earth at the time?
Very carefully.
Boing! Welcome to our show.
Welcome to our show where we talk about only the show Lost that we love, and it's our favorite show. Everyone's here. Sayid, Claire's here. Kate is around.
Sayid's here, Claire's here, but Sayid's not here, and Claire's not here
And
also.
That's true.
Locke's here, but it's not really Locke.
Locke's here, but it's not really Locke.
We have our favorite characters.
Miles. Frank Lapidus makes an appearance.
Dogma?
Dogan. Dogan is here.
Dogan's here.
Dogan's right-hand man.
John Lennon.
John Lennon is here. Everyone's favorite Beatle, John Lennon, has arrived finally.
Yeah. Oh my God. George.
Many Temple residents are here.
Yeah.
Martin Keamy.
It's not really here, but he's there.
He's not here, but he is there.
He's in the Flash Sideways,
Yes.
which honestly I think maybe we should go for first.
Yes,
they're pretty contained. They don't really have to do with anything.
They're nothing, and I have complaints about like all of this episode, but like there's at least stuff technically happened on the island.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So off island, Sayid goes to LA to visit. He opens up the door. He has flowers.
Yes.
There's Nadia. He gives her a hug.
And it's like,
and then there's kids, and they're like, "Where were you? Why were you gone for so long?"
Uncle Sayid.
What? Oh my God.
They're not married.
And then his brother comes out, and he's like, "Yo, I'm Nadia's husband."
Yeah, I'm Nadia's husband and Sayid's brother. Can you believe it?
Can you believe that?
And Sayid says, "Well, ain't this grand?" And so they have dinner. Together as a family, and everybody's having a good old time, and the kids are like, "We're gonna go play with your stuff, Uncle Sayid." And Nadia's like, "Well, how was your trip?" And Sayid says, "Oh, translating for oil companies ain't exactly the most exciting gig in the world."
And we're all like, okay,
that sounds like a good way to establish what Sayid does in the alternate world. And then his brother says, "Well, it must be more exciting than dry cleaning." Well, I mean, we did just open up a second franchise.
Oh, that's a great way to set up what's going on in the other people's lives.
Wow, we here at Exposition Table, we love to just tell each other how we're doing.
And then the phone goes off.
The phone goes off, and this is very funny, where the brother says, Nadia's like, "We had a rule, no cell phones at the table," and and then in response to that, the husband says, the exact quote is, "Dinner is over. This is business."
Oh my God. It's like,
nonsense.
You loser.
What are you talking about?
I mean, we'll understand more very soon, but at the end of the day, you do still just run a dry cleaner business.
Yes. dinner is over.
Yeah.
No more eating, no more food because I have a call on my phone.
What does the orchestra have, a pie stain emergency and they need to get 45 tuxes cleaned ASAP before the big show tonight? What?
The whole orchestra just got too messy on the pie.
The pie. Oh, we shouldn't have eaten the pie.
Oh, all the flautists.
Oh my God, the flautist. You can't give dessert to a flautist.
You cannot give dessert to a flautist. What are you thinking? You cannot give dessert to a flautist an hour before the big symphony.
Before the symphony.
Oh my God.
Then you'll have to interrupt dinner.
And the conductor says, there's one dry cleaner that'll do it, but I hate to interrupt his precious dinner.
He has a rule at the table. But so he leaves, and then Sayid and Nadia just have bizarre sexual tension the entire time.
Yeah.
And they make like small talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids come back with like a boomerang. They're like, oh, thank you, Uncle Sayid. And then the other kid is like, look, Mom, your photo is in Saeed's bag.
And they're just like, there's so much to unpack there.
Yeah.
Great. First of all, okay, so Sayid still feels a way about Nadia. Mm-hmm. That's the tension of the alternate world. Nadia's still alive. And yet Sayid, he's still out of Saeed's grasp. Interesting. Hey, maybe these kids should get a clue.
Yeah, oh my God, these awful kids.
It's very funny to
He has your photo.
That's the most exciting thing you could find in Sayid, the like oil translators, your uncle. He brought a boomerang home and nothing else to placate the kids.
Yeah.
One
and
boomerang.
A photo of their mother.
One boomerang and a photo of your mom.
So that's weird.
That's weird.
But then that scene ends, and then Saeed's brother. It's later at night, and Saeed's brother like corners Sayid, and he's like, "Listen, I had to borrow money to open up the second dry cleaner, but I didn't borrow it from the bank. I borrowed it from this man, and I paid him all back. But he insists that I owe him interest now every day for the rest of my life, every month for the rest of his life. And it's you need to fix this. You need to do something. I know what you did back in the war."
So we've established now that not only is he in terrible debt, but Sayid was still indeed a war criminal.
He was
in this
still
timeline.
a torturer.
He still has blood on his hands. And so Sayid says, first of all, why not just go to the bank? It seems like if you are already running a perfectly legitimate dry cleaning business, why would the bank not just let you open another one?
Yeah, this is never brought up.
No.
This is never addressed.
No.
But especially because he said he paid back the loan already.
Yeah.
The second location just opened. So I don't know what insane dry cleaning cash flow he's getting where he can pay back the startup costs of a second location within like weeks. But it seems like if you're in that sort of situation, you can get a loan from any bank in the world.
Yes, any legitimate bank should be more than willing. Yeah, oh my God, how successful. That didn't even occur to me.
He paid it off so quickly.
He was generating like loan shark interest and paid it all off.
He paid it all off because it's like they just opened the second location.
Boy, these orchestras are some messy eaters, I tell you.
It's going to be 4 times the cost if you interrupt my dinner.
the old dinner tax.
But this is the situation. This is the setup. And Sayid says, I'm not going to do this. I don't do this sort of thing anymore.
Yes, exactly.
I've changed.
You got to you made your bed, you got to sleep in it. Then, next scene is Sayid sees the kids off to school, and then Nadia comes out with a panic in her eyes. And the next scene is them in the hospital. And gosh, he's been badly hurt. We never see how badly hurt he is.
No, we never really see him again.
Yeah. But we do go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And Sayid's
he's in it.
He's in it.
And Jack is there too.
Jack walks by and he's got more important things to take care of. But we're told and we're led to believe that Sayid's brother Omar is there. And Nadia says, "Listen, Sayid, just leave. I don't want you to get caught up in all of this. You're a good person, and you just need to. We'll be fine. We don't need you to get dragged into this whole mess. Oh my gosh."
It's like, okay.
It wasn't, or not like, it wasn't like, I don't want you to get dragged into this. It was like, I don't want you to escalate the situation.
Yeah, totally.
Because Nadia's like, I know what you'll do.
Yeah.
Sort of shit, which is like, yo.
And then that's the end of that scene.
Yes.
And then they go to a scene at the home.
Yes.
Where Nadia's like, if you still love me, why did you push me to your brother? And Sayid's like, I have to bear the weight of the crimes that I did.
And I don't want you going through that.
And it's like, okay. Why? And I wonder, why is this a thing in the alternate universe when he did the same crimes in the normal universe and he's fine?
Well, I would not say he's fine,
but
per se.
Compared to this Sayid, great.
That's true. That's true.
He's killing it, no pun
That's
intended.
true. He's still got troubles in the alternate timeline, but we'll get to his problems in real world.
Yeah.
And they are several-fold.
Yeah, that's true.
They seem to get exponentially worse with the more I think about them.
Yeah.
And so just like another thing where it's like, oh, the alternate timeline could be like a cool thing. Instead, like Sayid's just still tormented.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, his big problem is still that he can't be with the love of his life because of the war and because of he's not meant to be happy.
Yes. It's no good.
Yeah. And there's really one more big thing that happens.
Yes. And this is pretty fun.
This is spectacular.
It's marvelous.
Marvelous.
Spectacular filmmaking right here. A car comes to pick up Sayid at the home and says, hey, you're on your way to pick up the kids? Why don't you come with me instead? Or do you want us to come pick up the kids for you?
It's like, okay.
Sure. Save me a trip.
Yeah. Not even my kids.
Yeah. And so...
But no, he goes with them. It's a threat.
It's a threat. He gets it.
They go to the legendary restaurant of beatings.
We've seen Jin cause a real ruckus in this restaurant. And we've seen Sayid arrive at Jin's help. But we don't know how Sayid gets here. Well, it's here. This is how.
He gets driven.
He gets driven. He goes by car and not by foot or by plane.
Yeah.
It'd be way cooler if he went by plane or by boat or something.
Public transit.
Public transit.
I just want to see Sayid on the bus.
I want to see Sayid on the metro, dude.
Oh.
That'd be so good. But no, he's driven here, he's walked here, and he meets the head of this crime organization. It's Martin Keamy. You may remember him in real life from killing Ben's daughter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good scene.
That was a great scene. Well, here he is, and he's wearing a big old gangster suit, and he's like, hey, you want some eggs? I'm like, good
really
eggs.
Funny guy.
Yeah, funny guy. Classic egg humor. A little bit of egg joke for the
egg
kids.
Egg yolk, more like it.
It's more like egg yolk.
Yes.
It's more like a funny egg yolk.
Oh, yes.
More like a runny egg yolk. Gah!
21.
21.
Blackjack, baby.
Blackjack, baby.
But he's like, what does he say? He just says, like, your brother owes us money or something.
he lays it out. He says, like, hey.
I don't know what the threat is.
He's just like, basically like, listen, I heard what happened to your brother. It's terrible. But I guess he owed us money. So, hey, what are you going to do? Give us the buckos.
Oh, yeah. He said someone's got to pay.
Someone's got to pay. I'm owed my money. And Sayid is just kind of like, he's like patient with it to a point. And then I forget what makes him snap. At some point, he just snaps and like kills pretty much everybody.
Yeah, he kills everyone in the room.
He kills everybody except for Keamy. Keamy's like, okay, whatever, all right, forget it. Debt's forgiven. Your brother's debt is forgiven. Let's just, put down the gun and like forget about it. You can just forget about this, right? And Sayid says, I can't
forget.
I can't forget about it. Shoots Keamy right in the friggin' chest.
And Keamy dies.
Keamy dies.
And then, but there's a noise from the fridge.
What's in the fridge? What? A noise from the fridge? The fridge is where food goes.
It's our friend Jin.
It's our friend Jin. And how did he get here? Well, we'll just have to go back to the other episodes that we already covered and listen to that.
The answer is car again.
The answer is, of course, by car.
But that is the flash side.
By parachute.
Oh, he flew in.
He skydived in like in Fortnite.
Oh.
Plane flew overhead and he dove in.
He just jumped.
He dove in and then he did a funny dab.
And now there's only 2 people left, him and Sayid.
And who's going to get the victory royale? Tune in next time and find out.
But that's the Flash Sideways.
Mm-hmm.
It's inconsequential.
Means nothing.
Nonsensical.
Doesn't even add anything to the already inconsequential Flash Sideways story.
Yeah.
Doesn't shed any new light on Sayid.
Yeah.
Doesn't shed any like alternate weird light on the present story.
So it sucks.
It's the Flash Sideways at its worst.
Yeah.
And it's not saying something.
It happens.
It happens, it exists, and we never have to talk about it again, you and I.
But if you didn't like that, well, just wait until you hear about what's going on the island, because we are at the temple.
We are at the temple. We are at the temple. I've got great news for you. I'm just going to lay this out for you. After this episode, there's only one more episode that's take place that's in the temple area.
I'm disappointed that there is still one.
I was too. I honestly thought this was our last one, and I was like, all right,
the temple so much.
I'm ready to fucking just wipe my hands clean of this fucking arc. But no, we still have one more episode, and it's gonna come someday. Who knows?
But here, how does this one even begin? I totally forget. Wait, Sayid.
Yes, let's give a bit of context. Sayid's time in the temple. He arrives with a gunshot wound. He dies. They try to revive him in a muddy pool of water. It doesn't seem to work. But then it suddenly does. He's back, baby. Dogen, the Asian fellow who's in charge of the temple, tries to tell Jack to poison Sayid. And Jack says, that's a dumb idea. I'm not going to do that. And so Sayid wants answers. And that's where we begin. Sayid walks into Dogen's office and says, you tried to poison me. You tried to get Jack to poison me. Also, you tortured me earlier with a weird electric machine. What's the deal?
Why are you doing this?
Why would you You claim to be protecting me. This doesn't seem very protective at all.
What's the deal with Dogen?
What's the deal with Dogen? And Dogen, for once, is actually relatively straightforward.
Yeah.
His answer is dumb, but at least he isn't cryptic about it. He says, here's the deal. That machine I tortured you with, guess what? It is inside of every man. And I'm not making this up. Here's what Dogen says in the real show. Inside of every man is a scale that is tipping in either one way of good or another way of evil. This machine tells me what way you're tipping, and brother, you're not tipping well.
So he's evil.
He's evil.
Sayid's evil, and that's why he should be killed.
We joke about murder in his heart a lot. Here is the machine to tell us.
Does he have murder in his heart?
And he just says it like it's nothing.
You got murder in your heart, kid.
He announces that canonically there is a factual absolute good and absolute evil in this series that has up until this season roughly dealt in moral gray areas. Maybe it's not so simple as fate versus free will. Maybe
there's a machine.
There's a machine that tells you whether it's good or evil or not, turns out. So
Sayid's evil.
Sayid's evil.
So I think that would be a good reason to have a 4-minute fight scene between Sayid and Dogen right about now.
And boy, do they ever have a 4-minute fight scene. It's honestly a pretty well choreographed fight scene.
Yeah.
Sayid gives it his all. Dogen gives it his all. They're running at each other. They're trading blows. There's one really funny scene where Sayid just knocks over some shelves, and whenever you see that in a fight scene, it's always like, now they're behind me. But it's just like an open room, so Dogen just walks around them. It's fine.
It's very weird.
It's very weird. Anyways, the fight scene goes on, and Dogen has a knife to Sayid's neck. Looking bad for Sayid. Then what happens?
A baseball falls off a desk, and that is enough to stop Dogen from killing the proven to be evil being that is Sayid.
The objectively evil. Remember, evil is objective now.
Yeah.
Great news, everybody. We figured it out. Jacob's got the machine to tell us who's a goodie and who's a baddie.
But he doesn't kill Sayid. He says, you can live. I'll tell you about it later.
Leave now, never come back.
Oh yeah.
And Sayid goes to complain about this to Miles.
Yeah.
Miles in this episode is really funny.
He's just like, he serves as someone to give information, and that's it. He doesn't have any of that Miles sass. And it's really funny to see Miles be put in this situation.
It's really funny. He's just sitting around poking the dirt, and then Sayid comes to complain at him because Sayid doesn't have anyone else to complain to.
He's like, why would they revive me if they think I'm evil? And Miles is like, oh, they didn't revive you.
You were dead for real.
Yeah. It's thanks, Miles.
Thanks, Miles. Appreciate it. Then what happens? What the heck happens?
Does Claire come?
Claire shows up. Claire is here. Recall that Claire is evil now. She's got scraggly hair.
I guess we see Claire outside for a second first with Locke.
Yeah, and
Locke is like, go in.
Go in. I got a plan, and to do it, you got to go in there. And Claire comes in and says, hey, there's a man outside who wants to talk to you. And Dogen's like, I'm no bozo. I know who that man is. Frig off. Frig the frig off. Put her
in the hole.
Put Claire in the hole right away.
And they put her in a giant hole.
They put her in a big hole, and that's Claire.
Yeah.
That's it for Claire, folks.
That's where she goes.
She lives there now. She lives in the earth, and honestly, she looked down in Minecraft and dug a little bit and said, here I am now.
And then Dogen, he goes to Sayid now and he says, hey, I know I tried to murder you a couple minutes ago.
Multiple times.
And also before that, tried to murder you like yesterday.
And also before that, tortured you so that I could find out how evil you are.
But could you do me a favor? Could you murder someone for me?
And Sayid, rightfully, at the very least, Sayid is like, my man, you've attempted to murder me multiple times. Why should I do a damn thing for you? And then Dogen hits him with an acceptable response.
Yeah.
Dogen hits him with, hey, you claim that you're not evil. You say you've got some good in you. Here's your chance to prove it. And he explains a little bit about Locke, and he says, like, this man is, now that Jacob's dead, this man is free to do whatever he wants. He's trying to get off the island. And you got to plunge this dagger into his heart before he has a chance to say a damn thing to you. If you let him talk, it's already too late, buddy. And that's the rules. And go off.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. And then Sayid's like, okay.
Sayid's like, all right, sounds fun.
And he goes and does exactly that.
He's very
dutiful.
He goes out to the woods and meets up with Mr. Locke and does not hesitate. Locke does have a chance to say hi, Sayid. And
that's enough.
But Sayid still plunges the dagger into his chest. This is the one cool scene of the episode, I think. This is the one, like, legitimately, this is pretty cool scene.
It's cool. It's dramatic, and it's like Locke's reaction is really great.
Locke has a really good reaction, which is he is unfazed by having a dagger plunged into his chest, pulls it out, and says, like, something like, you're just going to stab me without saying hello?
Yeah.
And then
it's funny.
And then he hands the dagger back and says, I won't bite, buddy. Don't worry about me. And it's like, all right. This could be a compelling villain, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
And then that scene sort of like ends abruptly, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of
Or he says that Jacob's dead or something.
Yeah, they kind of like go over it, and they're like basically Locke lays it out for Sayid. Locke says like, this is yet another plan that Dogen had to try to kill you. He knew that you would fail at killing me, and he thought I would kill you instead. And then Sayid is wise to that, and Sayid says, hey, buddy, if you haven't killed me yet, you must want something from me. And he says, you're right, Sayid, I want you to deliver a message. Sayid, ever the wise guy, says, well, frig you. You're you're evil incarnate or something.
Spirit.
You're some kind of evil. You're the hell that the cork of the island is trying to keep out.
You're the hell that the cork of the island is trying to keep out.
Why should I listen to a word you say, bub? And Locke hits him with this just irresistible, rational thinking. He says, hey, what if I told you you could have anything in the world that you ever wanted? What if you had anything? What if I could grant you one of wishes? Any wish you want, Mr. Sayid, it's yours.
It's so stupid.
It's dumb.
And Sayid's like, okay, I'll do whatever you want now.
No, not yet.
No, never mind. That is coming.
That is coming. Because Sayid basically says, the only thing I ever wanted died in my arms. And I'll never get it back. Never. And there's nothing you can do to get it back. And I know that for a fact. And that's just how it is. And I have accepted this long ago. This is my fate as the burdened Sayid. But then Locke hits him with the galaxy brain level. But what if it wasn't impossible?
Okay.
And then Sayid says, all right, I guess I'm on your side.
Do what you want now.
All right, it's that easy. I guess that I'm evil now. It's dumb.
It's awful. Season 6 sucks.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. What is happening? Why is any of this going on?
None of this really matters.
No.
None of this, like, there's... Are there stakes? What are the stakes?
What are the stakes? So, a temple that we don't like is threatened.
A temple that we don't like is threatened.
So, I feel like I am actively rooting for the bad guy.
Yes, but ostensibly the bad guy is a really bad guy.
Yeah.
We've had
ostensibly.
We've had our share of, maybe this villain isn't as bad as another villains on this show.
Uh-huh.
We've learned to enjoy the presence of a Ben Linus and even a Chuck Widmore.
Uh-huh. This is the worst of the villains.
Yes. Who his motives are never made clear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He wants to leave the island.
He wants to leave the island.
Why? We don't really understand. I guess that would be all hell. Hell is unleashed upon the world.
What is the consequences of him leaving the island?
How is he really hell if he was just a boy?
Yeah.
He was a boy who went into the light.
He went into the light and got turned into smoke. He's fine. He's not
fine,
a big deal.
Yeah.
And any attempts to be even the cool moment of, oh, he survived getting a dagger plunged into him, are completely undercut by the absolute nothingness that this villain is.
Yeah.
Terry O'Quinn, bless his heart, plays the hell out of him.
Yeah.
But the actual stakes are null and void.
It's sad.
And it's molded by all the characters just drifting around and doing nothing.
And we just don't have our favorite characters in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
There's no Jack. There's no Sawyer.
There's no Hurley.
They're
off doing something else.
Kate is there, and she's really boring this episode.
Kate does have a scene. We'll talk about it.
And Locke is dead.
Locke is dead. Locke is replaced by this facsimile of Locke, who is cool in weird moments and otherwise inconsequential.
If it's not really Locke, is it a Locke-alike?
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Those who like it a Locke.
Now I'm smiling again. Now I'm happy.
Welcome to Tampa Bay.
Welcome to Tampa Bay Lightning season 6, episode 6 of Lost. So, Sayid delivers a message to the temple. The message is as such. All the people...
Hey, baby boy, how you doing?
Hey, how's
weather.
How's the weather here in the temple?
Sorry, you go on.
Oh, we hate you know what? I was just over at the village with the yellow houses, and you know what? That crowd, it's nothing compared to this crowd.
That place smells.
This place, I might say it's the best place on the island.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, yeah, we hate the yellow house neighborhood, the Dharma neighborhood. We hate it.
We love you, messenger.
We love you, messenger. And Sayid says, all right. But seriously, folks, all right.
Jacob's dead.
Jacob's dead. There's a man in the woods. Looks like John Locke. He wants to leave the island. Anybody who wants to join him, you got till sundown to hop on board with him.
He's coming in here at sundown, and he's going to kill everyone.
He's going to kill everyone who doesn't join him. So that's the news. Thank you. I'll be here till sundown if anyone has any questions.
Yes, and immediately all of the temple people are just like,
all right,
well, we're going to join him.
Yep.
They do not, without a moment's hesitation, they flip.
They go immediately. Yeah. This apparently devoted sect of people devoted to Dogen and John Lennon and their weird pool and weird poison. They're just like, well, Sayid said we gotta go, so we gotta go. We've been safe all of this other time, but now I guess we better... I guess the news of Jacob's death is significant, but fucking again, Jacob, nothing about Jacob has ever landed.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
And then what? And then I feel like then there's a lot of things that all sort of happen at the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos. A lot of people are moving and hustling. People are we see Locke getting ready to go.
Kate goes to see Claire.
Yes, Kate goes to see
who's in
Claire.
The hole.
And Claire says, "Hey, are you trapped here too? They took my boy. The people in this temple, they have my boy. I know because John Locke said so." And Kate kind of says, no, Claire, honey, Claire, I took Aaron.
I took the boy.
I raised him, and he's the most beautiful baby boy you ever did see. I love him, and I came back to this island so that I could bring you back to him, and you could be together again.
And Claire fakes a smile.
Yeah, Claire is being a massive creepo.
But we know that she wants to murder Kate now.
Yeah, Claire...
Or maybe even doesn't, because she doesn't murder Kate.
She doesn't murder Kate. Claire's another one of those things where it's like, all right, she's evil now.
Yeah,
all right, if you say so.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. What is the and on it goes.
Yeah.
That's Kate and Claire's scene. It happens and it's fine. And she also Claire pulls I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Because then shortly after, guess what? Smoke monster time.
Yeah.
Wait, no, not yet. Not immediately.
Oh, because Sayid has his big moment.
God, there's so much dumb shit.
Sayid and Dogen go to the pool for some reason.
They go to the pool and they dip their ankles in the pool and they say
Dogen has to tell his backstory.
Dogen
Dogen sits down beside Sayid and he says, "You know why I didn't kill you? It's the baseball is coming back again." He's holding a baseball in his hand and he's like, "Back in Osaka, I was a banker. I was a normal person. I was really successful. And one Friday night, I got a promotion. And then my colleagues took me out for drinks, and I got so drunk. And every Friday night, I had to pick my son up from baseball. And the accident was so bad, and I survived, but my son didn't. And then Jacob came and told me I had a job to do, but my son could live.
And I never get to see my boy again, but I have to live on this island forever."
And it's like, okay, Dogen. You got it. You're a real character now.
All right, fine. You have a
Can
tragic...
you just finally die already?
We're going to give this guy a flashback or what?
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
off.
Is he going to get a whole episode? Otherwise, you were not a character on Lost.
Guess what? He dies immediately after this. He literally
just murders him.
He literally gives his sad backstory, and then Sayid and Dogen exchange a few more formal pleasantries about, so... sticking around or leaving? What's the deal? And Sayid says, "I think I'm going to stay." And then he goes and drowns Dogen.
And it's okay.
It's fine.
And then John Lennon comes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What did you just do? Do you know he was the only thing keeping the smoke monster out?" And Sayid's like, "Yes, I know." And then slits John Lennon's throat.
The one good thing about the episode is watching these two useless characters die.
I know. It is good.
You cannot have these characters travel back and forth through time, leave and come back from the island, go through so much, participate in an earth-shattering conspiracy to cover up the truth of the plane crash, and then come back and then just have them get stonewalled by these guys when they have questions about it.
Totally, exactly. They're like, "What's going on?" And then Dogen's like, "I don't speak English."
Yeah, and then he's like, "I do, but I'm gonna poison Sayid." And
it's
then
like, this is so
it's
useless.
Not how to make good television.
Yeah.
Let it be said.
So
here.
they all die.
So they all die. Smoke Monster comes in and kills pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
We do get a bit of Miles is running through the temple, and then I think a really weird crew of Ilana,
Lapidus and Ben.
Ilana, Lapidus, and Ben and Son come through, and they're and Miles is like, "What the heck? How did you guys get here?" And then Lapidus gets a marvelous line, which is, "We could catch up later. If you want to live, you better move your ass."
My God, Lapidus.
He's got one
Even
line.
your charms are not enough to save this god-awful situation.
Not enough. So they guide him out.
I want Lapidus to just be in an action movie one time. To be the pilot in an action movie, and it's just him.
Yes.
The character.
Please. If sometimes you hear talk of a Lost revival bubbling up here and there and everywhere, fuck that. Give me just Lapidus' show.
Just Lapidus.
Even his one line in here made me say, I need to see more of this man.
I know.
Awful. Awful that they only give me one line of Lapidus. They make it out safe. They go through a secret tunnel and they live. Many of the others die. Many of the others are killed.
The rest all go and join Locke.
Yes. The episode ends with we have Kate, Claire, and Sayid. Oh, no, wait. There's one more actually pretty all right scene that I want to talk about. Ben says, all right, Sayid's still here? I'll go get him. And Ben walks up to Ben is like, "Oh, I found Sayid, guys. He's right over here, standing over the pool with a bloody knife and 2 dead bodies."
Okay. Goodbye, Sayid.
There's a good shot of Sayid smiling with a bloody knife, and it's like, here's what it is. I'll give the episode this much. It does show. It badly shows. It doesn't do a good job of showing it. But it does show Sayid make a decision to become evil now. He's evil now.
Yeah.
And when he's crouched over the corpses with a bloody knife and he's like smiling, Ben says like, there's still time. We can get you out. There's still time. And Sayid says, not for me, there's not. And he's just like smiling. And it's like, oh, this is a side of Sayid we haven't ever seen.
Yeah.
He's like weird. If he's evil, but now he's like weird evil. He's like Heath Ledger's the Joker evil.
Yeah.
But then he spends the rest of the season just being like monotone and having no expression and just like being a weird sleepy zombie. And
yeah.
So
pretty much.
Like any even like
he doesn't. Yeah, the evil thing doesn't even pan out because he loses it.
It's like, oh man, wow. So Sayid has now allied himself with Locke.
Yeah.
And then they walk.
But then he doesn't really.
He doesn't really. It doesn't matter. Everybody's like, Sayid, why are you with Locke? And he's like, I'm sad.
Yeah, I don't do anything.
He doesn't do anything.
Like, you just killed 2 people. It was awesome. Keep doing that.
He rescues Desmond and then goes gets Desmond again. And that's it. He doesn't do any more crimes for Locke. It's not like, oh man, the stakes are changed now that Sayid's on Locke's side.
Yeah.
Nothing comes of it.
And that's it. That's the episode.
They walk through like the corpse-ridden temple and it's on fire. And creepy music's playing.
They have a weird montage of that.
Very weird montage that's like very like it's meant to be like, oh my god, the temple, and like it doesn't land at all. And everybody's outside. It's Locke, Kate, Claire, Sayid, and also just like the others who decided to leave the temple behind. And now Locke has a posse. Wonder what's gonna come of that?
Nothing.
Nothing, because it's nothing. That's the end of the temple arc. That's how it ends. Bad episode.
Thank God it ends.
I'm glad that it ends.
Yeah.
I'm glad that season 6 isn't all the temple arc. The temple arc might be the single worst arc in all of Lost.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. By far. There's some dumb shit later in season 6 that sucks, but none of it even compares to this. The temple arc is
such a waste of time. Especially because it amounts to nothing. Because what happens? The temple gets destroyed.
The temple gets destroyed.
What did the temple do?
What did the temple do?
Nothing.
Dogen's dead. Who cares about Dogen?
Yeah.
The biggest consequence is that Locke now has like the remaining others as the army, and even that
does he use them?
No, they just hang out. Like anytime you see Locke, it's always just like he has like there's like random people dressed as like others around, and he's like, all right, these are my guys, and it's like the state of this is a show where like in the start of season 5 they like. So, like, this is a show. I'm just going to lay this out. I'm just going to go. I'm going in.
This is a show.
This is a television show. It was broadcast from 2004 to 2010 in an episodic fashion.
On ABC.
On ABC.
This is a network a prime time network television.
It's been released on DVDs, streaming services, you name it.
I'm sure some Blu-ray.
Certainly there's been a Blu-ray of Lost at this point.
Probably HD DVD for a year or two.
That never really caught on. I doubt it got an HD DVD. I would love to see a Lost VHS. No, I wouldn't.
It exists.
I wish.
Probably not.
I doubt it. I think it came a little too late. But here's the ish. The show starts with a plane crash, and we have 48 people. But only like 10 of them or so, 14 of them are, cast. And then you have a handful of like extras milling about to give a sense of setting.
Yeah.
This is a plane crash. As the stakes get further and further upended, as people leave and come from the island, the show seems to constantly struggle with what to do with this extra mass of characters. Add into that an additional faction of antagonistic village, and that adds even more weirdness to it. At this point in the show, there's no like meaning to these extras at all. There's no like the show has like deliberately gone out of its way to like kill these guys, to just kill randoms as like a way to like set false stakes.
Yeah.
The show has like for the idea of the show like taking us back and forth in time and saying, all right, now listen, what if this random cast of characters that you've never really paid attention to before, what if they were on the bad guys now?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
That doesn't mean shit to me.
Yeah.
The show's bad, and when it's bad, it's exhausting. But you know what? I'll tell you. I don't mind telling you that this show raised many questions.
How many?
A surprising amount of questions.
Okay, let's do it.
You want to dive right in?
I got the answers. I think I'm going to get 70%.
I think you're going to nail this quiz courtesy of lostpedia.fandom.com. The questions and answers. All the questions raised and all the answers that are canonical. All the answers fit to print. Question number 1. Is the monster evil incarnate?
Yes.
Meh. No.
What?
This is how I knew this was going to be good. No, he, in fact, seems to have been a decent human being initially, but being turned into the monster and being trapped for eons has eroded his moral character.
Oh, no, the erosion of a moral character.
The erosion of the moral character of the sentient pillar of smoke that's tormented our cast for years.
All right. Let's try again.
Let's try again. Can Sayid and Claire be redeemed from the sickness?
No.
Yes.
Oh my God.
With the proper enlightenment or kindness, it seems they can be drawn back to their old selves.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We're 0 for 2. Let's see. This one's kind of a spoiler, so I don't know if you'll know it, but it's a funny one. So
it's funny that I don't know this because I've watched the at this point I've watched the show.
This is straight up something that I think is revealed in like the final episode.
Okay.
But it's funny, so I want to say it.
Uh-huh.
How can the monster be killed or stopped?
The light in the heart of all of us. Electromagnetism.
You're very close, but I gotta give Jeopardy rules a no on that one. The only known way is to transform him back into a mortal human.
Weird. Okay. How do you do that? That's pretty vague.
How do you do that? Of course,
the light in the
it's got to
center
be
of
the light in the heart of the island.
You have to take him back.
You have to take him back is the thing. How can the monster enable Sayid to see her again? Her being Nadia.
Through electromagnetism and the light inside of all of us.
I love where your head's at, but he can't.
Oh, I like that actually.
He's just
a liar.
He's just a liar. He's manipulating Sayid long enough so that he can kill him. Of course, that tracks.
Wow. I can't believe. So I don't know any of these things.
No, you don't. You have learned nothing from the 97 episodes of this show.
I don't know what is going on.
It's almost like watching it like this makes it hard to keep track of the lore of the show, and B, it's almost like the lore is of little to no consequence anyway.
Yeah.
Especially in this particular season. Why was Jin being held in the freezer?
Because Sun's dad owed Kimi money.
Correct. Yes, correct. Here's one that this is just a question that I'm just gonna have to ask you.
All right.
Will the spring raise Dogen and Lennon again with the sickness?
Yes.
Seems not.
No.
First
off,
shout out to the guy's canonical name apparently being Lennon. That's literally what it says here on
Lennon. Whoa, it's John Lennon.
And it's spelled like John Lennon.
That's so lame.
It's ridiculous.
I like that we didn't know.
No, we didn't. We literally never hear his name spoken out loud, I'm pretty sure.
But it's Lennon.
It's Lennon. It seems not. It seems that the spring may be selective in who it does or doesn't raise, relative to the will of Jacob or the island.
The spring is selective. The selectiveness of the spring.
Hey, what's the... remember the spring? 97 episodes deep into the show, I've never heard talk of the spring.
Well, you will love to hear then about its selectiveness.
You're goddamn right I will. However... in the case of the tainted pool, it seems likely that the monster controls it, and so didn't raise Dogen or Lennon, knowing he couldn't turn them to his side. Oh. That's all conjecture.
Knowing he couldn't turn them to his side? Why not? He can turn everyone else to his side.
He can turn Sayid
what happened to Claire?
Yeah, he turned Claire just fine.
Did she even die?
Claire doesn't die. Claire just is like, oh, here's my dad.
I'm bad now.
All right, here I am. No, Claire never actually dies, I don't think. She just wanders off.
That's so dumb.
It's nonsense. All right, we got some self-implied as a chaser to this shot. Why did Dogen ask Sayid to kill the man in black before he spoke?
Because if he speaks, then you can't kill him.
That's as good an answer as any. That's more or less what they say. There is no actual magical binding power here. But rather, Dogan was hoping the monster would kill Sayid in retaliation, as we go over. When Sayid accused Dogan of this, he responded in silence, which seems to confirm this. The Man in Black had also previously attempted to trick Ricardo into killing Jacob in the same manner, stabbing him with the same knife before he could speak. As the Man in Black later conceded, Jacob is very persuasive. One for the road.
Okay.
One for the one
These
to say
are
goodbye.
awful. I hate this show.
The show is so bad in season 6.
It's so bad.
It's really remarkable how bad it is in season 6.
Oh, it's so it's so annoying.
If Lost is a 6 out of 10 show, most of season 6 is a 1 out of 10.
It's a 6 out of 10 because the first 2 seasons are like 8.5 out of 10.
They're 8.5.
And then
the rest,
season 6 is a 2.
Season 6 is like
a 3 maybe.
See, the show stops at season 5 and you have like a 7 to 8 show.
Totally.
You're
exactly.
You're like
season 5 was sort of fun.
Season 5 is fun. Season 4 is chaotic but fun. Season 3, like, there's problems throughout the whole show, but overall it's like, oh shit, this is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
Season 6 is just nothing.
Garbage.
And let me hit you with one more little slice of garbage. How did Dogan's death make the temple accessible for the monster? I know you got this one.
Because the light inside of Dogan and electromagnetism.
It's a similarly bullshit thing. Like, think of another, like, if it's not electromagnetism, who did it?
Jacob?
This is likely another one of Jacob's rules. Interestingly, it seems that the monster was able to cross over the ash into the temple following Dogan's death, which may suggest...
Interestingly.
Very interesting.
That was a main plot point. Interestingly, the main thing that occurred.
It's kind of interesting how the thing that happened. It may suggest that the ash can be crossed if the person or representative person inside is killed. That's interesting. That is interesting. Oh, that's so interesting. Lost is the most interesting show I've ever watched.
Boo.
And I can't wait to watch another episode.
Let's watch it again.
Let's watch it again. Let's friggin' go. Hell yeah, baby. I'm ready to watch one more episode of my friggin' favorite show, Lost. Lost rules, and every other show rules. You heard it here first. Random.org. Let's go. 1 to 30. What are we getting? What is that sweet, sweet number going to be? There's only one way to find out.
3. 10% of the way through the number combination.
3 we have already watched.
Okay.
So not 3.
26. No, please let us have already watched it.
Afraid not.
Okay.
Season 6, episode 1.
Oh, that's fine. I'll do that.
LAX part 1. I don't think this is the temple. I think that it ends with them arriving at the temple.
Beautiful.
So
I'm down.
We don't have to deal with that.
I feel like the premiere has to be one of the better episodes.
The premiere usually is. Like, at the very least, it'll be like, here's
things.
Here's the setup. Like, I don't really remember a lot of it, but it'll probably be fine. It'll probably be a perfectly serviceable episode of television.
Please.
Please, I'm begging you.
Please, Jacob.
All right. That's been the show. Thank you for listening, as always. I've been Bean. You can follow me on Twitter at Barrier Trio.
I've been James. You can find me at jamesbrown.space.
You can, and I recommend it. You can find the show on Twitter at Island Shuffle or on Facebook.com/The Island Shuffle. You can also find us at Noisepace.xyz, which is a podcast network that has all kinds of great podcasts on it. Podcasts like My Pod Cabbages, which recently came back. Fear Baiting, which is good, and Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses, which is also very good. Yes, even more than that, even. Listen to them all, and if you like them, why don't you go to patreon.com/Noisepace, send a couple bucks to Matt, because he hosts this show out of his pocket. And also many other shows have Patreons, so if you like any of the shows, give them your hard-earned bucko.
We don't have Patreon, so...
We don't.
Any money you were going to give to us... Buy yourself something nice.
Buy yourself something nice. Or buy us something nice.
Yeah.
Consider buying...
On our new Patreon.
Yeah. That's been the sweet show. We love the show Lost, and we hope you do too. We're just...
I guess. I love it.
We are nearing episode 100.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Good, actually.
Are you ready? It's
going to be so fun. It's funny how, by the nature of this thing, the last episode will be anticlimactic.
It's going to just be like I'm surprised.
It's going to be like season 2.
It's just gonna be like some crappy ass episode. It's gonna be like another season 6 episode probably. It's gonna and like the actual finale is just gonna happen.
Yeah. But it hasn't happened yet.
I'm very surprised it hasn't happened yet. I'm looking
Maybe that'll
forward to
be
it.
episode 100.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be fate?
It's not episode 99.
It's not episode 99, I can tell you that much. All right, thank you all for listening so much. And we're just going to end this podcast the way we always end it, by saying our famous thing that we say, get